So, good morning, Enrico.
Morning to you, Rick.
Well, after a hectic night, well, full day really, travelling for both
Right.
of us, Enrico's come from...
Well, actually, I drove here from Italy.
Right,
so
okay.
It's been 9-hour drive.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah, and I hopped on a plane, did the easy thing really.
Yeah.
Jumped on a plane from the UK and flew into Prague. And basically, well, we're here in this beautiful secluded lake in the Czech Republic. Enrico, what a stunning place.
Yes, it is actually, Rick. And well, I think we are quite lucky because for these days we have the lake all for us,
Yeah.
so we can decide exactly what to do. And this would be the place where we will start our fishing. I think we should have a look how to split our rod pod. And we have this big island here in the middle, which is a pretty big feature. So I think probably we can use this as a, let's say, as a divider for two different sectors.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. So, do you fancy the right hand side or the left hand side?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think we can start on this way.
Okay.
So then we see. We just do some casts with the microfloat to know exactly how deep it is, how is the bottom, if it's soft, hard, silty, gravel, whatever. And then we decide exactly where to fish.
Definitely, yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
The first thing I want to check, Rick, is this tree, because we have some big sunken trees here.
Yeah.
And this is a must in a place like this. So let's see. First of all, if it's clean.
Well, it screams fish, doesn't it? That's true.
See how dangerous it is first. Clean and small gravel. Pretty hard bottom.
Okay, for those of you who don't know basically what we're doing, what Enrico's doing, this is not a fishing rod, it's a marker rod. And basically it's kitted up with braid, a knobbly lead, and basically a float. So if Enrico lets braid out like he is doing now, the float comes up, so we can measure how far the float's coming up off the bottom. And if he drags the lead across the bottom, he knows roughly from the feedback, the vibrations he'll get through the rod tip, whether he's fishing on a hard bottom, a soft bottom, or if there's any weed or snags there as well, we'll be able to find out. So basically this is our eyes under the water. So we're trying to map out now and get some ideas of what features or hidden features we've got under the water.
Okay, so the 3-4 meters on the left side of the tree is quite clean and safe, so I will place definitely my right side rod.
It does look a
spot.
good fishy spot,
Yeah,
that one, doesn't
yeah.
it, to be fair.
It is. And then I just have a look on the right side of the island, how deep it is, because there must be an edge somewhere. I just want to see how deep it is.
Okay.
And then I would probably place there my left rod. It's a bit more silty here at the bottom.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can clearly feel the gravel in there, but not here at all, actually.
Just over 6 foot then.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good depth. That's a good depth.
It is. So it's around 5 foot in here, around 6 foot in there, and of course in the other cast we found there is a bit of canal in the middle. But I think fishing those two margins should be the right choice. So
yeah,
1 and 2nd rod.
Okay.
Have a look in your swim then.
Nine foot there.
9 foot.
Yeah.
A bit deeper. Yeah, because this actually looks like the deepest part of the lake. You have this small dam in our left side. How you feel the bottom?
At the moment it's quite silty. It's just smooth. Oh.
Yeah, now you found something.
Now I've got gravel. There we go. Okay, what I've got there is basically over the back of the float I've got gravel. and all this side of it is smooth, just feels like silt. It could be silt, it could be like a clay bottom, but to me, with the feedback I'm getting through the rod tip, basically it's like a knife coming through butter.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
nice and smooth, doesn't feel. But the other side of the float, I'm feeling all the tip knocking, so it's like hard. It's a hard bottom,
Yeah.
so it's.
So I guess is there where you will
yeah.
Start.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good place to start as well. If you've got one tighter to the island, tight to the snags, it's more open water.
Right.
I think I can concentrate, maybe one baited area and fish 2 rods on the same area.
Yeah, because we are fishing anyway with 2 rods each. So
at least that way, if I'm fishing the open water, you're fishing to the features, you know, tighter to the features.
And we are playing 3 totally different features.
That's it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. Now we are on the shallow part of the lake, and while Rick is still setting up all the gear in our main swim, where we will fish the whole week, we start to pre-bait this small corner. You see, we have a small creek coming in the lake down there, and because we are in the beginning of May now, and we are starting to have some pretty warm days, and we saw a lot of activities here. So probably the carp is just moving here to get some sun in these days. So we will just pre-bait a couple of times this corner here with some bio-lever boilies, and then we will do some stalking. So we will give 2-3 days more of pre-baiting, and then me and Rick will come here with 2 short rods, very light gear. Then we'll try to track some carp that is swimming around here. We saw a lot of activities the last days here. Where I'm going to pre-bait now is 1.5 meters, the maximum depth, and then we'll also try with 1 rod, maximum 3 meters from the shore. Here we have around 80 centimeters, 1 meter of water, and a lot of rocks, as you see, and a lot of roots from the big trees. So should be a really interesting spot. Must be a carp.
Feel good, Enrico?
Yeah, actually looks a nice fish.
Nice fish.
You won't believe it, we also have the scale now.
Yeah?
That digital one. The new one for next year. Yeah, hello.
Non lo so, avevo preso quando colorato, mi sono accesa, se questo accende la S, così, capra.
Ah,
It's becoming disgusting.
there's a run. Good run, this one.
So just keep eating for a week. Here we go home, 50 kilo more.
Oh,
mirror.
bella.
Usha!
Well done, my friend.
It's okay fish.
Sturgeon that come up over there, doesn't it? Oh. At last.
And maybe this is the second carp of the day. Too many sturgeon fish. Finally, that's free.
Okay, this one's been a long time coming today. We set our rods up this morning and baited very lightly because I'd never fished here before, so started off with single baits and then slowly introduced maybe half a kilo of boilies over the top. Straight away had problems with sturgeon, wasn't aware with the amount of sturgeon that was in this water, and they were just, whatever bait I tried, pop-ups, bottom baits, big, you know, big double baits as well, just couldn't get through them. I must have waded through about, what, 15 sturgeon today, and all of a sudden it changed this afternoon. The sun disappeared, it started raining, it's gone dull and overcast, it's still warm, and we put the rods out. I went round and baited up again, and to my surprise, no sturgeon. They'd sort of like disappeared, and we can see from the activity on the surface that there are sturgeon still topping, but they're not interfering with the baits for some reason. Anyway, managed to get the rods out for at least, I don't know, 45 minutes, something like that. Resulted in my first common carp of the trip, well, second one of the trip, sorry. I caught a smaller one earlier on today, and chuffed to bits. Didn't think I was ever going to see a decent carp on this trip, so even though it's gloomy and raining, well pleased with this one.
Not a mirror. Yep. Yeah, as Rick said, the sun disappeared and then the action is just starting all of a sudden. Rick had just caught a nice common carp. He's already fighting another one, and in the meantime he was taking out the hooks from the common one. I was fighting with this nice mirror with a beautiful color. Oh, beautiful fish. Again, a snowman. Seems like the snowman is the winning here right now. Yep. So let's just take a couple of pictures and then I help Rick land in the next one.
That's a nice fish.
It's a nice one.
Very welcome fish. I've gone a long time in between catching fish. We've had a bit of problem with some of the sturgeon. Seem to be wiping us out as soon as we bait up, and we've gone a long period. Probably, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, Enrico?
Easy, even
Yeah,
more, 2, 3.
2 to 3 hours. Well, we'd had a quiet, so we wound our rods in, rebaited, checked the rigs, put fresh bait on, and for some unknown reason, whether it was due to darkness, the sturgeon hadn't come on the feed. But just as we're getting into the darkness now, resulted in this little bonny mirror carp, which was very welcomed, very welcomed.
It's fighting good.
A lot of weight. The weight there.
Is one you casting in the middle?
On the bag. Blind chuck.
It actually doesn't fight as a sturgeon.
Wow.
Okay.
That's where all the power is. Okay, well, me and Enrico had been going through a nightmare really. We're having a lot of problems with sturgeon, and basically as quick as we're baiting up, they would have been wiping us out. Now we've tried different things, not putting bait in, fishing singles, high attract singles, glugged baits, things like that, and I thought, well, my left hand rod, I've been fishing quite tight to a structure in the water, and now we're into darkness. I basically had a sturgeon about, I don't know, 45 minutes ago, and there's no way in darkness I could cast it safely back to where I want, so I thought, right, just for the evening, I'll put it all in a PVA bag and a snowman rig, and basically it was a chuck out into the middle of the pond, and well, it resulted in this absolutely stunning common carp. Beautiful fish. Fought like an absolute beast all the way in, and yeah, I mean, blown away. To be fair, was starting to give up hope. We're trying to wade through, well, we even said earlier we'd probably have run out of bait before I think we'd have fed these sturgeon off, but this has made it very welcome indeed. Absolute stunning common carp.
Beautiful common.
Yeah, we've basically adopted sort of like techniques for fishing the still waters, and much to mine and Enrico's surprise, immediately from putting rods out, we found we have another fish that has a great liking for our boilies. To be fair, we haven't come to catch these, and they're being a bit of a nightmare. We're both catching so many of these. Well, I think, to be honest, the carp ain't getting a look in, are they, Enrico?
Yeah.
Now, as nice as they may be, if you've never caught one before, they almost look prehistoric, like a dinosaur in age. But
it's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's not as carp anglers. This ain't what we'll come for. And to be fair, they're giving us some big headaches, some very, very big headaches. So we may have to change a few things and maybe go to a different area lake if it persists, and see what happens. But like I say, I mean, this is our problem at the moment. Like the guys in the UK, we have the problem with a bream across there. Well, across here we're having the problem with these things, and like I say, it ain't what we come for.
Yeah, let's find a solution for this.
Let's get him back.
So this looks like a carp.
Yeah, looks like a good
and it's
one,
actually a part of the plan we have started to get rid of this problem with the sturgeon. Looks like that when you move on the margin, you don't fish anymore on the deep side of the lake. Then it's mostly carp actually you are dealing with. That's another middle carp.
Never imagine. Pretty fish, Enrico?
Yeah. Well hooked.
Thank you.
The rigs have been working perfectly, you see. Perfect in the
Yeah,
right.
I've noticed, I mean, we've
Or the bottom jaw.
We've said in the past, we've been suffering a bit with
the sturgeon.
The sturgeon. Now we've had to go through a host of changes, baiting techniques, different rigs, and it looks quite a little sexy rig, that, Enrico. So with this in mind, I see you've been putting a few of these fish on the bank now. I think at some point we'll break for a couple of minutes and we'll go have a look at Enrico's setup,
we'll look on
and
details.
The changes he's made to
and how it works.
Put these fish on the bank, because he seems to be catching a few now. So well done, Enrico. That's a stunning little fish, that one.
Beautiful, beautiful fish. Okay, I'll move it with a mesh. It's actually immaculate mirror carp.
Beautiful orange on its back end, isn't there?
Yeah, perfect shape, this fish is. And this is actually the fourth carp coming out from that spot.
Yeah.
And it's just maybe 4 meters from the shore.
That's right. Yeah.
And we didn't have a single problem with sturgeon.
Well,
so that means quite a
yeah,
lot.
I mean, my knowledge isn't up to speed on the sturgeon, but from what we're seeing at the moment, they seem to be hanging around the deep water areas. Whereas the margins on the margin shelves and in the shallower water, we don't seem to be getting a problem. So you know, I'm no sturgeon specialist or anything like that, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work it out.
Yeah, to realise this. Yeah, that's true. Okay, Rick. So 7 months have been passed by from the fast water adventure in the Po River, and we are now in the middle of May 2013, and we are in a pretty different environment since September last year.
Yeah, I mean, the fast water, wow, I mean, that was one hell of an experience for me. Opened my eyes to how you guys fish the European rivers. But I feel a little bit more at home, back in my comfort zone. Coming to this is, I mean, it's an absolutely stunning lake. A little bit more intimate,
right?
Yeah, very, very similar. I mean, very similar to sort of like the UK style fishing.
And actually, I was looking forward to come here with you because I was really curious to see. You know, I was thinking about this lake and I was thinking about you and your fishing in UK, and I said, Yeah, I'm quite sure that Rick can show me some seriously important trick to fish this kind of small water.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it is. I mean, a lot of people overlook these small waters. I mean, they are tricky. They can be very, very, very tricky. And I mean, looking at this place with a stunning backdrop, I mean, what a better way to sort of like start our next fishing adventure. I mean, a quick glimpse over the lake, and we've got the tree lines, we've got islands, we've got bars, we've got rocks in the water, we've got snags. I mean,
and also the bottom is quite interesting because we've been doing some casts with the marker float this morning, and we found out that this lake is actually split in two really different sections.
Yeah.
We have the shallow part and the deep part.
Yeah, a bit like most lakes, really. I mean, these are basically spring fed on a stream system, and basically you've got a good influx of fresh water, air, you know, very, very high oxygenated water.
Right.
That's constantly coming in and out of the lake. And like Enrico says, we have a deep end, if you like, the dam side of the pond. And I mean, you only have to look at the backdrop there, and you can see the great big boulders and the rocks. So I mean, like Enrico said, we've had a good lead round with the marker floats, and I mean, we've found some fascinating features in this lake already. So yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely stunning. Yeah. And again, like I say, I mean, I'm feeling a lot more at home on here already. Yeah, I mean, I think we're in for
I can actually see that you feel home.
Yeah.
When you're casting and preparing rigs, you just go straight ahead by your way.
Well, that's it. I mean, my neighbourhood back home, we have a lot of ponds, you know, this sort of size, maybe 2 or 3 acres. And you know, like I said, I mean, a lot of carp anglers overlook them, and they are, like I said, they're maybe not some of the easiest waters, but if you put the hard work in and the time, you do definitely get the results out of them. And I think because they are a lot smaller as well, you sort of like bond with them, and you know, you get to know the lake's ins and outs.
And you know, for my experience as a European carp angler, I'm used to big river, big lakes, natural lakes. You always overlooked, as you said, also this kind of place. Definitely. You know, because they said, it's just a small lake, it's easier. That's not true at all. No. It takes a lot of understanding and a lot of time to understand how it works, because we've seen that if you fish in the wrong place, then there's just no way. So you really need to understand the timing and all the...
yeah, and I mean, what you'll find as well is with these smaller lakes, I mean, one of the reasons why they can be so tricky is with your big waters, your big rivers, if the fish come under pressure, they can move. I mean, these can either go from one end of the lake or the other. I mean, so these carp, in what you find in these small waters, they're probably stooped in the art of evading anglers.
That's right.
You know, it's programmed into them from birth, because you only need like maybe half a dozen guys on here, and they're like, whoa, you know, what's going on? Yeah. And they know how to avoid fish, whereas on a big lake, they just go out of reach. Yeah. You know, out of sight, they've got the room to move. Whereas, you know, on here, we can always put a bait to them, because everything's within casting range. Right. So, like I said, yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the rods out and doing a bit on here. It's like I say, a lot better for me. I think it's well in my comfort zone, this one.
So Rick, you've been spending quite a lot of time this morning with the marker float, and I did the same, and I think we found some interesting features on this lake actually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, up at the light. I mean, a beautiful morning for starters. Watching the mist come off the lake, absolutely stunning. So first thing we had to do was get the marker float out, find out what features or hidden features we've got under the lake, and see if we can establish some sort of like patrol routes and feeding times on the lake. And to do that, we need to know what we're fishing on. Basically, had a good lead round this morning, and we found sort of like a gravel rocky area in this, like if you like the main open part of the lake.
I would say, just as a starting strategy, we have used this island as a border between my rod pod and your rod pod, so we both fish in an independent area with different features.
Yeah, I mean, what a superb feature an island is. I mean, it's like the old saying: you put a tree in the middle of a field, put 30 people in there, they go stand under the tree. Why? Because it's there. And the same thing with an island. I mean, every island on every water screams carp.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a marginal shelf for starters around there, as well as all the trees and the bulrushes around the lake. So yeah, what a magnificent feature we've got already.
So let's talk about your swim first of all.
Yep.
Where you are fishing, what you found interesting from, let's say, from the island to the left hand of the lake.
Yeah, I mean, it's slowly, from what I understand with the marker float, it gets deeper from right to left. So from the island, it maybe shallows up 2 or 3 feet,
right.
And then it shelves off quite deeper down to the let's call it the dam wall side,
right?
Down to about 8 foot. And also, yeah, I mean, I can literally draw a line in between the island and the dam wall side, and I've got pure rock.
Yeah.
To my right. I mean, it's
all the way through this side of the bank.
It's rock, gravel, and then slowly as I go along with the marker float, I'm feeling it's a bit choddy down there.
Right,
there's you know, a bit of silt, and I'm picking up some dead leaves the closer I get to the dam side. So it tells me that it's quite silty down there. Now from the far side as well, obviously, I was up on the high bank yesterday with a set of Polaroids on, and we can see we've got some big rocks sticking out the water in places as well. So we've got a few things we've got to be aware of when we're putting baits out, and if we do hook up with fish, we've got to make it safe to get them back to base if you like.
That's actually what I found, because as you said, as more you come close from the island to our peg, then the bottom it becomes more silty. That's and right, you can not really feel all the rocks. And this is everything I have here in my left rod that is fishing almost in the open water from our spot to the island. So I have to fish just a bit longer, because from the island to the tree it looks like is a border from the deep side and the shallow part of the lake.
Yeah.
Because just after the tree then it becomes really shallow. But we cannot fish down there because it's too dangerous for the fish. They can just easily get snagged on the trees, and we don't really want this. So I have to fish actually just a bit closer here when we have the first edge before the maximum depth, and then with the other rod I have to fish really close to this bank, maybe 5 meters from the trees, where it is still is a bit gravel and is a bit more solid bottom.
So basically, I mean, where we've been where we're planning on presenting our baits is on the hard stuff, really, just on the edge where it's going from hard to soft sort of thing. So we should get a nice clean presentation, and fingers crossed. I'm feeling really confident with this one, Enrico. It's nice to be able to get to a lake, and have a quick lead round. We've got quite a few days here, so we're not going to disturb the fish too much, and if we do, they will come back again. But it's nice to understand what you are actually fishing on. And I think that's one thing we need to emphasise, because you see so many times, I see it a lot, people come to a fishery or a pond, lake, river, and they just chuck their rods out and then wonder why they don't catch anything, and with these waters, these smaller waters where they are so, if you like, closer and personal, the difference can be sort of thing, dropping your bait there to dropping it there.
That's right.
And if you're getting a pickup off there, but you've been dropping there, and that is a dividing line sometimes. It's if you can't put that bait right on the right place, and you need to know what you're fishing over.
I guess maybe in a lake like this, if you put the bait in the wrong place, I guess maybe we'll catch a fish sooner or later, because maybe in a small water they will swim in there.
Yeah.
But if you stay there just for a 24-hour session, then you really need to be where the fishes are and where they are just swimming, because otherwise you will just waste your time. Yeah,
well, the old saying says, isn't it, is 10 minutes in the right place is better than a full day in the wrong place.
That's right.
And fingers crossed, like I say, we think we've found some nice spots to fish on.
Yeah. At least now we have a clear overview of our part of the lake, and then we'll try to get the best out of it.
Yeah, we're understanding, aren't we, what's under the surface, and if you understand what's under the surface, in my opinion, it adds to your advantage of fishing.
It is. He's a bodybuilder, this one. Big shoulder. Seems like the strategy to moving closer to the shore is paying off. And just a few hours, already 2 fishes, and the last one is just this angry and strong fighting common carp.
Okay, as promised now, Enrico's taken 5 minutes out of his fishing, and basically he's just wound in one of his rods for us now. This is one of the rods that's been doing quite a lot of fish for him, so I'm quite interested to see his setup and how he's going about it. Enrico, take us through what gear you're using. And
I just start from the beginning. As you see, for this lake, I've decided to use pretty strong and heavy mainline.
Yep.
But in the same time, I'm using a pretty soft and parabolic rods. We're using the C2 Prologic C2, 2.5 pound in this case, with an Axiom V2 size 60 reel. And the mainline I'm using is the Interceptor 0.37 millimeters. So it's a 20 pound.
20 pound breaking strain. But it's really thin, this stuff as well.
Yes. But that's good because you can really force the fishes. You know, also very short distance, because you have the rods with a bit of a forgiving action, but you still have the line and you can pull as stronger as you want. And then I had this this leader, is a hollow leader, our supercharged hollow leader in 30 pound.
Okay.
So, and it's just the normal loop to loop.
This is really nice and soft and supple, isn't it? I mean, it does sink very well as well. Sinks, but the added advantage of this, it follows all the contours along on the bottom. So it's quite a fishy leader.
And I actually like this, because even if you need some time to use a very long leader, these slide inside your guide of the rod with no problem. So you can actually, because there is some situation, for example, when we fish in a few lakes in Italy where you really need to have 1.5 meter of this leader. So, you know, it's quite hard to cast with a 1.5 meters out. So you just slide it in through the line and then just slide out with no problem at all.
Cast perfect.
Yes. And then, as you see, I have a normal safety lead clip solution with a quick change swivel. What is nice, I think, is the rig.
Yep. Now, what's this made out of?
Is the Gladiolink.
Okay.
Coated Gladiolink, 30 pound, I've just removed the coating here, of course.
Yep.
So it is totally soft and supple. Then it's coated, and then I just removed probably 3 millimeters here. So you have this perfect liner action.
Yep. And you have like a hinge technique there, don't you, as well? So basically, if you wanted to change it from a pop-up,
you can easily do that.
Fish a pop-up as well. I mean, I think that I noticed with this Gladio, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? It really is. I mean, and it blends in. It's not a green and it's not a brown, but it's everything in between.
Yeah, because we have this parallel camo, which is really nice. And actually, it's nice because the coating of this, first of all, is really sinking, and there's a lot of people who is using totally coated on the rig, and it's the perfect mix between a normal rigs and a stiff rig. Yeah. And it gives just a perfect action to the rig.
Definitely. And then we're down to the hook, the business end, if you like.
There's the business. This is a solution I really like. As you see, I have this blowback solution, but then I had another metal ring on the top.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, I'm aware of the blowback.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, this is on a C2, XC2, isn't it?
C2, yeah. C2 size 2.
But the ring up here, I mean, I've seen what you're doing. I mean, I am aware of the advantages of what. But Enrico, tell the people at home, you know.
I actually started to use this solution because, you know, I like to be free to change the size of my hook bait as much as I want. Okay. Without being forced to change the rigs every time. Well, first of all, the XC2, especially in this size, is a really good hooks that can work with many different sizes of bait. Of course, not too big. But in this case, for example, that I'm using a Cream Dream 20mm and a 16mm pop-up, so in a snowman presentation. Okay. Then it's just the perfect one. Yeah. Then I just show you how I do this.
I mean, the added advantage, what I'll just try and get across, what Enrico's trying to get across, is basically that not all boilies, even if you buy a bag of 16s, you buy a bag of 20s, they're not all the same. You know, you always get a variance in sizes. Now also, like Enrico said, if he ever wanted to change baits, and let's say he wanted to move from using boilies onto particles, but didn't want to tie a new rig, he's got the advantage using this setup that basically you're not having to.
So basically, it's very simple, you see, because, and sorry, just make one step back. Another advantage of having this rig, this metal ring, is that you just slide the boilie or the bait inside here, and then it's blocked. Yeah. So you don't have any risk of the bait sliding on the hook shank. So it gives the boilie something to grip. Yes. Stops it sliding up and down. So you have no risk of the bait sliding through the hook shank, and then will compromise the action of the hooks. So I just put a thin, can be, I mean, dental floss, any kind of thin braid that you can usually normally for to tie hair rigs. Of course, ball is on the needle. Then I grab both of the end of the braid, you see. And then what I do, I just decide actually the length of the hair, sliding the boilies into the ring. Okay, so you're just teasing that down onto the ring. Here it is. And you see, this boilies is totally safe here.
Well, you can see from that, look, I mean, you can see how free and easy that hook spins round. I mean, so whichever angle the carp comes at that, it's hooked. Yeah. I ain't got to get off
and then you just make a couple of knots here in the top for the boilie stopper. I normally, when I make the first one, I normally make one knot here.
Yeah, so that's just an overhand granny knot.
Yes. And then I make a second one, but I just stop a couple of centimeters before. And then I just put in the stop boilie. And this, I think, is really interesting also when you have a lot of small fishes, or you know, anything that can disturb your fishing action.
Yeah, well, if there's crays
because on this case, for example, also the stop boilies is totally blocked here. So there is no chance that any fish can take out the boilie stopper. And then you just make a couple of knots more, and that's it. Here it is.
Perfect. Well, there you go. I mean, Enrico, thank you for taking time out of your fishing and showing us your setup. And I can tell you, this one's putting fish on the bank, and it's probably something that I'm going to clear off to my peg and maybe tie it myself now and give it a go and see what happens. Thank you very much, Enrico.
You're very welcome, Rick. short walk in the woods, and I'm in the opposite corner of the lake compared to our tag. As you see, super essential gear. 2 section handle landing net, 2 8-foot COM rod. Then I have on my gold post 2 buzzer bar, bank stick, light indicators, and then I just took out a selection of what I need for my tackle box. 4 leads, PVA, scissors, a couple of ready rig I've tied yesterday, and then just swivel, flat clip, stop boilies, and a couple of ready leaders just in case. About the bait, I came here again early this morning just to refresh a bit the pre-baiting, just maybe with half a kilo of bait. So we're going to use the BioLever hook bait. I've dipped it in the X-Rays liquid, some BioLever ready-made. And then just in case we also have some method mix and some pellet, all in the same range, and a fluoro pop-up if you want to try a snowman presentation. Okay. Now actually what I pre-baited is just 10 meters from here, so I will just set up everything here to avoid any noise and any strange rumors, and then we'll see what happens. We will try here a few hours. Okay, so seems like the 2 pre-baiting has been working good. Just 30 minutes after I dropped the bait, 1 meter out of the bank. It's a beautiful mirror. In our single 16mm hook bait, it was a very short stiff rig C4 size 6 hook. Beautiful fish. I love this. That was a fight. Sniper style fishing. I didn't even have the time to recast the first rod after the first carp, and I had to run posting the second rod. This time in a snowman. So it seems like they really appreciate it. They're baiting with a bio leader. Oh, this one is a fatty. Beautiful fish. So now we made a bit of noise and real lot of confusion in the spot. So we just prepare with few boilers, a few more pellets, wait 15-20 minutes, and then we recast the rod. And then we see if we can repeat this really good fun. Oh, it's a koi! It's a koi! It's a koi! It's orange and black.
Parrot.
Yeah. Surprise. In. Oh! This is the best reward for this. Tried with the ultralight gear, a bit of stalking fishing, ultralight. Wow! I didn't even know there was koi carp in this lake. This is just beautiful. Look at this. Okay, go back home. It's a tenner of a common. Double 16mm bioliver boilies. Fish it just 3 meters out of the shore. Here it is after a hell of a fight. Beautiful, beautiful.